And good evening and welcome to another edition of the Ralph's Opinion Show. My name's Ralph Williams. We're here every single Wednesday night here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter X, and we're on the Kick Network. We're trying to get back on Twitch. Had a little bit of technical issues, but we're getting back on Twitch for this program as well. Don't forget to join me for my sports programming on the Sports Nuts Network. So don't forget to join me there as well. I just want to let you know that we're on that network as well with the Sports Corner Show. And on Saturdays, we do, starting this Saturday, we're back to the Saturday Sports Show because we are no longer, the college football season has ended. Monday, coming up Monday night, Martin Luther King night, there will be the championship game between Miami and Indiana. So, but anyway, I know what you want to talk about tonight, but we'll get to maybe some of that later. I had my Philadelphia show today, my radio show, the Ralph Williams Show on WWDB 860 AM. And I got some emails because they know I'm from Pittsburgh about Mike Tomlin. We're not going to talk about that here because this is not a sports program. We have a lot of other things to talk about. So I just want to let everyone know that as well. We have plenty to talk about tonight, including Delaware. I need to not apologize for my comments because I stick to what I say and what I feel. And I know some of you took to offense to the fact that I called Delawareans whiners. All right. I got some facts and maybe I have to eat it. Okay. But I will tell you that I still stick with what I'm saying with development in Delaware. But I'm told that Delaware's getting overdeveloped right now. And I was told that by a couple folks that I didn't realize or didn't know that lived in Delaware that actually told me that. So I kind of got egg on my face, but we'll discuss that later on because we're going to start off with our national topics and talk about President Trump and what he's up to, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as we do every week here on Ralph's Opinion. All right, we're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studio, 724-2010-500, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. You ought to call Mata, Western Pennsylvania's #1 heating and air conditioning company. Give them a call today if you have any heating needs and also UV lighting and snow melt. As you know, it's been snowing very heavily in Western Pennsylvania. So you might want to get some snow melt, and you also might want to try to get the UV lighting as well so you don't fall anywhere as well. And we're also sponsored by Mike Dotson Realty, Ocean City, Maryland, 410-596-1681, Mike Dotson Realty, Ocean City, Maryland. Call Mike today for your short-term rentals. You're going to need them for this summer. The 2026 season is coming up in Ocean City, and the hotel rates are going up, of course, as they always do. So, we have that going on as well. All right. Okay. Who do we have here? Someone said it's been a while. Yes, it has. How are you? Great to see you there. Video game enjoyer. Again, I want to emphasize, I don't have a problem with video games. What I have a problem with is when people, and I know somebody who does this, they just sit around their house and play video games and don't work when they can. Okay. I have a little issue with that. Okay. All right. I don't have a problem with that. I got friends that play video games. All right. I used to play Atari back in the day. Hello. And hello to you too. I think, let me see if I can see that name right there. My eyes are giving me a little bit of a problem tonight, just a little. So we'll see what's going on tonight. All right. Yep. I see you there. All right. Thank you for your hello to you as well. Hello. And Cyberuski, what's going on? Everything's going on real good, Cyberuski. Thank you for being part of the program. All right. Okay. And there we are with that. All right. Whatever that is. Okay. All right. Okay, let's get started tonight. President Trump, as you well know, uh, has decided to attack Venezuela. He went in, he got the president out, the Delta Force went in, they got Maduro, the president of Venezuela, brought him back to the United States. They're trying him in New York. He's in jail. So now he's going after Greenland. I'm told that there's I'm told trillions of dollars of oil reserves that belong to the United States that are in Venezuela that Maduro wouldn't let us have, or prior leaders wouldn't let us have. And anyway, Maduro's a bad dictator of a leader anyway. All right. All right. Make money playing video games. Well, if you make money, good for you. Good for you. I'm glad you make money doing that. So I'm glad you make money playing video games. If you do that, good for you. I have no issues with that at all. Okay. I have a problem with people who just sit around and play video games, and don't work, and and don't contribute to the economy. I've been saying this many times. I'll say it again. If people don't go out and start working, Social Security is going to run out in 2030. So that your aunt, your grandma, your father, your mother, somebody who that might collect Social Security, do you want them to lose their Social Security benefits because you didn't go out and work? There's not enough money in the fund right now because of a lot of fraud. Okay. That's why I'm on people about getting out there and working. That's the only way the economy is ever going to fix itself. You got to go out and work. You got to go out and get a job, go out and work and contribute to the economy. All right. There's businesses out there that are closing up because they can't find employees. All right. There's businesses closing up. I know a business down here in Ocean City that closed up because you couldn't find employees. All right. Literally just closed up. All right. Yeah, they make it to my ear. Everything's fine. All right. All right. So let's get back to this now. President Trump, as I mentioned, Venezuela. Now he's going after Greenland. Colombia's on the list. And I would love to see us go to Somalia and take over Somalia. That's what I would love us to do. The reason why is because I want us to get back at them for Black Hawk Down. If you ever watched that movie, that is actually based on a true story. That stuff actually happened. All right. All right. So anyway, I want us to go after Somalia too, because of Black Hawk Down. I for some reason, some of these other administrations never bothered to do that. I know that we, kind of got ourselves in a pickle there, and really kind of caused a problem. We opened up a stew pot that we couldn't, and it overboiled. So I mean, it's just it's like that way. All right. All right. Good Cybruski. I'm glad you like Trump. So do I. I voted for him. How are you? All right. Thank you for watching today. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. All right. And if you're a sports fan and you like sports talk and great guest, go to the Sports Nuts Network tonight. They're on the air right now with Brandon Keeler and the gang. Go over there and see them. Matt Thomas, Shane Owen, Pensman Sports. They have a great guest on tonight. Go and over there if you're interested in some sports talk tonight. We're here with Ralph's Opinion. We're here doing general talk, talking about President Trump and what his plans are for some of these other countries. All right. And we can actually get started with the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I want to talk tonight about this situation in Minneapolis. I get a bunch of emails from people who are asking me what my thoughts are on that. And I want to tell you, I don't have a problem with ICE. I said that today on well, Cybrewski. That's sad to hear. I'm not. I don't worry about what he does. I know that he has been trying to compete with us here at the Sports Nuts and with RW Media Productions. I know he's been doing some different things, trying to match wits with us and stuff like that. We're really not all that concerned about what he does. So, he has his way of doing things. I have mine. I'm not going to go any further. I don't have time for that tonight. Thank you. But anyway, let's talk about this ICE stuff. Mayors all across the country. We'll start in Pittsburgh because that's where I'm from. Corey O'Connor just got elected mayor of Pittsburgh. He said, I don't welcome ICE here. Minneapolis, they're screaming and crying because that girl got shot. You got Baltimore now saying no. You got all these towns, Philadelphia saying no. And I, today on my Philly show, the Ralph Williams show, every Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m., Philadelphia's WWDB, 860 a.m., every Wednesday. And every fourth Wednesday, we go live, which means we take your phone calls. All right. And that starts in a couple of weeks. Okay. So, excuse me. So let's take a look at this for a minute. You're doing your job as an ICE agent, and I know people that were police officers that decided to become ICE agents because there's more money involved. They like the action. They want to be involved in stuff like that without having to go into the military. Okay. And you go into this town and you go to arrest some people or you go to, apprehend illegal immigrants. I can't understand why you have a problem with people who break the law. And you know who it is? It's the progressives. It's the progressives. They're at it again. All right. It's all these progressive mayors all across the country. And I've told you how many times about progressives. They don't want ICE in my city. You don't want ICE in your city because you are for crime. You are for illegal people. You are for this, that, and all kinds of whatever's illegal. You're for letting people out on no bail. You are for letting people walk away, criminals that have done things 6 times over, 3 times more than that, out on bail or out on no bail or whatever. They don't have to pay anything. You don't have to do anything. Okay? No punishment. You don't believe in any of that stuff. So it doesn't surprise me at all that you don't surprise that, it says Democrats don't know what illegal means. That's exactly right. Exactly correct. They don't know what illegal is. Illegal to them is everything. All right. Let's give jail inmates at the Allegheny County Jail in Pittsburgh tablets to communicate with their family. Okay. And you want to know what their favorite line is? We can't do that. Okay. That's their favorite line. Hello, Zillow. Thank you for watching. That's the progressives' favorite line. We can't do that. Okay. It's all these progressive mayors that I've told you about that's in this country, around your city, all across the states and all across the United States that are causing these problems with these ICE agents. There's protests all over the place because they don't want ICE in their community. Well, that's too bad. That is too bad. And tonight I'm adamant about this because I'm frustrated with the fact that we have these progressives out here who basically all they want to do is it's okay to break the law. It's okay to rob old ladies. It's okay to go out and beat people up. It's okay to go out and shoot somebody. It's okay to shoot at a cop. It's okay to drag an ICE agent 600 miles down the street in your car. It's okay to run over an ICE agent. It's okay to throw stuff at them. It's okay. It's okay with the progressives. It's okay. It's okay. All right. It's okay. All right. How did the good gender defense? That's another story. They're for transgender behavior. Okay. We can get into that too. I got into that a little bit a few weeks ago on my Philadelphia show. Do you agree with the school systems, both no matter where it is, that don't want transgender athletes competing with girls or boys or whatever? All right. And I brought up the example of how there are girls who are they're in schools that, whether it's college or high school or midget league or whatever it's called, small people, whatever it is, youth football, and they're kickers and punters and whatever. Okay. But they don't get into tackling unless they're into the women's football league, which there is a women's football league out there. Okay. Why do I know that? Because Pittsburgh has one called the Pittsburgh Passion. All right. Washington, D.C. has a team. There's some other cities that have teams. It's a women's football league. They play actual tackle football. All right. But do you agree on that? But the progressives do. They want that. They like that. Oh, we can't do that. Oh, no. No. We can't do that. Okay. Here, I left California 4 years ago. All right. It says, 4 years ago, it was so bad. I described it says I decided to have my family in Texas instead. Miss California for the beauty of nothing else. All right. I moved out of Pittsburgh because I got tired of the progressive crap. Public safety's bad. Public services are bad. The attitude of the people are bad. I moved down here to Berlin, Maryland because you know why? I like it down here. My health is better. My stress level's down. All right. I'm doing better down here with my health. There's a lot of things I can do here that I couldn't do up there. All right. People down here don't treat me like a redheaded stepchild or whatever it is. Okay. All right. And I know what you're saying. When people don't know you, Ralph, they don't know you like they do up in Pittsburgh. Well, that's fine. Who cares? Okay. And now I got people in Delaware who are angry with me. And I got somebody in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, who's mad at me because he says, I thought you were for the little people. I am for the little people. I am. I'm for handicapping little people. I was once a little person. I still am. I'm not a big person. I'm a little guy. I'm a little person. Because if I was a big person, the media wouldn't treat me like a redheaded stepchild like they did up in Pittsburgh. Okay? So for you to say, well, I thought you were for the little person. I am. I still am. I'm always for the little person. I always go after people who deceive people. I go after people who rob people. I go after people who scams. You got an electric scam out there now. It's running around Pennsylvania. Okay? Delawareans are, the people in Delaware are pissed at me because I called them whiners. It's true. They're on the news crying and complaining. They don't want this. They don't want that. Okay. Now I have one logical thing that I do stick up for them for. And it's going on in Pennsylvania. And I can use this as an example. We'll talk about that later. They built a new highway and no one's using it. Pennsylvania built Route 43 and nobody uses it. They built the Finley Connector and nobody's using it. Okay. These are highways that are supposed to make your life better, but you don't use them. Okay. Makes no sense to me at all. We can talk about that later. But right now, let's get back into this ICE stuff. And I'm going to say this to you, all you mayors out there that don't like ICE and don't want them in your city. It's too bad. They're going to be there. And you better be careful what you do. Because I've said this 1,000 times over, and I'll say it one more time. Don't poke the bear. And the bear is President Trump. You poke him enough, he might have you arrested for interfering with federal agencies. You are not allowed to interfere with a federal agency that's trying to do their job. Whether you like them or not, you do not interfere. That lady in Minneapolis deliberately parked her car there, and when she was asked nicely by ICE to please get out of the way, she did not. ICE tried to do something, and she decided to do what she wanted to do. And now everyone's in an uproar, everyone's protesting, everybody's pissed, everybody's mad, everybody's crying, everybody's upset. And I'm not saying I'm not mad about that woman. I feel bad for her. But she broke the law. George Floyd broke the law. All right? And I can name you a ton of things like this that have broken the law. And all you progressives out there that love to protest and love to get frustrated and blame the police all the time and blame everybody else. Yeah, I'm for the little guy. But I was taught how to obey law and order. I was taught how to say yes, officer, no, officer. I was taught how to respect law enforcement. Okay? But now our generation now is taught to disrespect the law enforcement, to disrespect ICE because you don't like President Trump, to disrespect anything that he does. If he brings the National Guard into your city to help your city out, you don't want it. Okay? And there's no shame. There's no shame. Oh, well, we don't need the National Guard here. Yes, you do. Your city's totally just out of it. Okay? Totally. Your city's a mess. You need the National Guard. Pittsburgh needs the National Guard. And I've argued with people many times. All right? All right. Sorry about that. I'm getting a lot of requests for interviews and to be on shows because of the stepping down of Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. So I'm responding back to one right now. So anyway, that's my opinion on ICE. You wanted it, you got it. Marcus, what's my opinion on ICE? I just gave it to you. You emailed me, you asked me that. And I just told you right now what my opinion is on ICE. The progressives are at it again. They want protests. They want to do this. They want to scream and holler. That is what their game plan is. But if you get them all out, you won't have that problem anymore. Law enforcement can get things done. Criminals can go to jail. Okay? And again, I'm not going to emphasize this anymore. There are bad police. There are bad ICE agents. There are bad janitors. There are bad people who work at McDonald's. There are bad people who are executives that are jerks and pieces of crap. All right? Nobody's perfect. Nobody's nothing. But when progressives go against law enforcement and you prohibit them from doing their job, that is when you're going to have a problem. Here we go. Sean Connery checking in. Bad kids. Exactly. Exactly. And it comes down to parenting. It comes down to where we don't care about parents anymore. We don't hold parents accountable. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The progressives, what do they say? We can't do that. And that's Ralph's opinion tonight. We're done with that. All right, next. President Trump, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This week, what was good? We went into Venezuela and took out Maduro. Got him out of the country. We're taking over the country. We're going to run it for a little while. We're going to help their government out. The bad right now is Iran is starting their trouble again, stirring up a stew pot. Iran can't shut up. They're upset because we took out their nuclear capabilities. All right. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, no. Okay. All right. They want to go after, they want to go after, absolutely. 100% correct, Sean Connery. 100% correct. All right. Iran, here we are again. You'll never learn, Iran. You'll never learn. You will never learn. Don't poke the bear. Iran, don't poke the bear. Venezuela, poke the bear. Colombia's poking the bear now. Okay? Panama, poking the bear. The bear is President Trump. Do not poke the bear. Ugly of this whole thing is you got these Democrats out here crying the blues. Wow, he didn't get permission from us to go into Venezuela. He didn't get permission from us to bomb Iran. Hey, Bernie Sanders, All right. Hakeem Hassim. There's another one. Okay. Our president is taking out these dictators. He's making money for our country. That's the good part of tonight's Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of President Trump. He's giving farmers $17 billion. He's giving our military money. All right. He's taking that money from the tariffs that the countries have stiffed us for years, and he's putting it back into this country where it belongs. Where it belongs. Okay. All right. And I know what you're saying. You don't like the idea that you can't use your SNAP benefits on candy and soda pop. I get that. All right. I wouldn't know. I don't have SNAP benefits. I wouldn't know. All right. So if you want to use it for that, good for you. Yes, they have. They have been poking the bear, but it's going to end. It's going to end there, Sean Connery. It's really going to end. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to end. Okay. It's totally going to stop because President Trump is not going to put up with it. He is not going to put up with it, none whatsoever. Okay. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. And right now, Iran is at it again. They won't quit poking the bear. They won't quit messing with Israel. They won't quit jerking around with some of these other countries. Now their people are protesting. And I hope that they overthrow that government because it needs to happen. Iran's been a tyrant. They have been a pest. They have stewed up a stir pot so many times, nobody knows when to quit. It's Ralph's opinion tonight. Let's get into our other topics here tonight. Pennsylvania, they're having issues with electric companies. People posing, calling up people and telling them that if you pay off your electric bill, I'll give you a $500 gift card. That is a scam. Dave Sunday, the Attorney General, has said that is a scam. Do not believe it or nothing. They're calling people up on the phone. They're getting people on the computer, however they're doing it. And instead of those people going out and getting an honest job, paying taxes, paying into Social Security, as I've been trying to explain to people, you're out there scamming people. Okay? That's what you're doing now. These are the people who used to get COVID checks and don't get them anymore. So now they're out there scamming people because they don't understand how to go back to work. Okay. Not everybody, just a few people. The few, the proud, the Marines. And you know what? I give credit to our Delta Force for going in Venezuela and doing this. President Trump is strengthening our military. That's a good thing, too. All right. So that things like Afghanistan don't ever happen again. All right. My Verizon service was off. Yeah, I heard about that today. Yeah, we can talk about that. People pay a lot of money for Verizon, AT&T. I call them A thief and thief. Okay, Verizon. I have Verizon. I didn't have any problems today. I don't know where it was, but it wasn't here. Okay. I had phone service all day. I'm always on the phone making phone calls, trying to round up guests for radio shows and things like that. Okay. Always talking to other people. I was invited on another show tonight to talk about Mike Tomlin. Okay. Steeler coach who stepped down. So, I didn't have a problem, but I do agree with you that Verizon, needs to do better so someone doesn't hack their service, so you have service. Do you imagine what this country would do without cell service? Vladimir Putin said that. He says, I'll take out the United States and their cell phone service and they won't know what to do with themselves. Okay? If you live old-fashioned like I used to. I grew up old-fashioned. Before cell phones were made. A lot of you out here, some of you, grew up with cell phones because when you were born, cell phones were around or had started around or, had been around. Okay? All right? I used to never have a cell phone. Didn't know what one was about until they came out and I started getting them. And then plans got better. You can make as many calls as you want. As some of them lie, they tell you, oh, well, there's no fees involved, where there is. Okay. Utility companies are thieves. Phone companies are thieves. Okay. Cable companies are thieves. That's why cable don't have any business. Okay. There you go. He misses pre-social media life. I'm glad social media is here for me to put my content out here. Okay. But now I'm back on the radio. I'm doing that. That's old fashioned, but radio's coming back now because people have had enough of social media. All right. You got too many people here on social media right now that are doing too many things and what bothers me is I have good content here. RW Media Productions, we have good content here. And I can't get 20,000 views. I can't get 6,000 or 6 million subscribers or whatever. But some idiot will jump off of a rock and split his head open in the middle of the ocean somewhere or someplace, and he'll get 60,000 views. Okay. I said to my wife, why don't we have one of them shows like the Hogans and the Osbournes, and where we tell everybody about our personal life and put it out there because everybody likes that. Okay. All right. That's right. Kids today don't grow up with cell phones. We didn't. I didn't. Did you? So, but anyway, let's talk about Delaware here. I got beat up bad this past week because last week I called people in Delaware a bunch of whiners. Okay. Not everybody. Some people. Somebody said, oh, yeah, you're watching those reports on Coast TV. Yeah, I am. I keep myself informed. Well, you've only been living in Maryland for a couple months and you think you know everything. No, I've been living here for over 6 months or more. And yeah, I do know a lot because I keep myself informed. Okay. So Delawareans out there, I do in a small way, apologize for anything that I offended you with, but I'm not going to apologize. You know why? Because I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And there are folks out there, and all I've seen is a bunch of people crying and complaining that they don't want traffic, they don't want retail, they don't want business, they don't want nothing. Then the Governor Meyer comes, Matt Meyer, I think his name is, comes by and starts saying that, well, we're going to raise property taxes, and he whined about that too. Okay? Now, there's one thing that I do agree with the people in Delaware about, and that's trucks going through your town. All right? But I got on somebody up in the Pittsburgh area at one time because the state of Pennsylvania wanted to toll Interstate 79 coming past Bridgeville, which is in the outskirts of Pittsburgh. And everybody was upset about that. I don't want to pay tolls to get on 79 because to help the state with their financial problems. Okay. That's right. You can't go out and hang out with kids with the kids anymore. I remember those days. Okay. I'm not wrong. Thank you. Thank you for somebody who says I'm not wrong about people in Delaware who are whiners. And those of you out there who say, well, you're from Pittsburgh, you don't know what you're talking about. You just moved down here and you think you know everything. I do. I know what I'm talking about. But on the other hand, some of you out there who are angry with me, are you angry with me? Okay. I know you're angry with me. All right. So I did do some research and I talked to some people who live in Delaware. And they told me it's getting overcrowded. There's too many apartments going up there, $4,000 a month rent or something in that vicinity there. They're happy with their little town with no traffic coming through and all that. Okay. They have a right to whine. Rehoboth Beach doesn't want this. Some other community doesn't want that. Millsboro's upset about this. Now, I getting back to the PA thing here real quick. Let's get back to this here. So that little town of Bridgeville was upset because traffic was going through, but then businesses along that whole corridor in Washington Pike bitched like a bunch of whiners and complained like a bunch of bitches because you know what they complained about? Traffic coming through the community. Why not? You didn't make any money. You're not making any money because there's not enough cars coming through your community. Okay? So there's two sides to every story. And in Delaware, they don't want the trucks coming through. But on the other hand, I bet you, and I'll say this once, I'll say it again, that we're going to hear some whining going on because, well, we're not making no money in our businesses because of them trucks. No, it's because you don't want traffic coming through your community so that you can make business. Make sense? Yeah. Makes logical sense. All right. That's Ralph's opinion on that tonight. Next, we're going to talk about, speaking of Delaware with this thing with Bridgeville, PA, and all that other stuff. They have a highway there. They just built it to take the trucks off the streets. They're not using it. Why? I don't know. They're insisting on going through the town. So the town now is going to, I think it's Millsboro, they're going to try to stop this. Okay? Which, of course, you probably can do. All right? It says I'm from Austin, PA, 4 hours outside of Pittsburgh, and we have 400 people. Maybe, anyways, we rely on other people's business. So if a road is closed or You're upset because traffic is coming through your community. Doesn't that generate business for you? Now, I know truck drivers, a lot of them, some of them may not stop and patronize your bid, can't park your truck. I get that. Those are the ones you want out. I get it. Okay. I've said this 1,000 times over, and I'm going to say it one more time. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I've tried. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Somebody said to me once, well, Ralph, yeah, you can, because you got to eat a cake to enjoy a cake. Okay. You don't want to raise in property taxes, but you don't want development in your community. You want peace and quiet. You don't want trucks coming through your community. But you complain because you're not making money. All right. We're going to get into that here coming up before we close out the show. Ocean City, business is crying. We're 20% down. Well, why don't you go see Mayor Rick Meehan in the city council? Because they raised the hotel rates to where people cannot stay in Ocean City. They come for one day and they leave and don't spend any money. You think about that for a minute. If you got me in Ocean City, that's Ralph's opinion on Delaware. We're done. As Judge Judy would say, we're done. We're done with that. I told you I had a lot to talk about tonight, so we have to move on. All right. There you go. We get whiners here too. That's exactly it. All right. So the businesses in Ocean City are saying their business was down 20% this past summer in Ocean City, Maryland. Now, I get it. But you complain about this, but what do you do about it? Do you vote out Rick Meehan as your mayor? Do you vote out the city council? Do you go to Worcester County meetings and say, hey, don't raise the hotel tax? Do you go to the city council meeting and say, quit messing with short-term rentals? Do you do that? No. If you have short-term rentals, people come and spend. Well, I don't want these people in my neighborhood running around screaming and hollering until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're a nuisance. You're there for they leave. End of story. And when you rent property, that comes with the job. That's like working in a coal mine and you show up in a suit and a tie and don't expect to get dirty. Okay. I had that problem. I had a dog and I rented a house, and this landlord tried to take me to court for $3,000 for a shampoo carpeting by Stanley Steamer, and he lost. Because you know what the judge said? That comes with renting property. That's called collateral damage. Did you give the man his security deposit back? No. So as long as you got his security deposit, that's on you. Okay? All right? So short-term rentals where property gets destroyed or people run around the street screaming and crying or hollering at 3 o'clock in the morning, partying, laughing, giggling, jumping around in people's yards and all that other stuff. Okay. It's disruptive. I get that. But don't punish the people who have the short-term rentals because of that. And it's only a small few communities. My community, we have short-term rentals here. There's 3 of them right across the street from my house. Right across the street. We had one group of kids that were here this summer. They made a little bit of noise, but they weren't that bad. All right. It's a few communities who are small mobile home communities that really don't want this. And I get that, but don't punish everybody because of you. You don't want them there? Don't rent them there. Just say you cannot rent here. You cannot have a short-term rental here. Okay. And the only reason Ocean City, Maryland's council and the mayor are doing this is because they're in bed with the hotel people. All right. They let the hotels do whatever they feel like it there. I've gone to the Chamber of Commerce because someone tried to scam me in one of the hotels. They tried to rip me off. They gave me a rate when I booked in February. When I went to pay the rate, they said I still owed another certain amount of money. I told them, no, I'm not giving it to you because you gave me this rate and I paid you. Well, you're coming in July. You got to pay July's rate. I said, oh, no, no, no. You told me that I'm paying this rate and it's February. I'm paying this rate. And if you don't like it, then I won't come to your hotel. You won't make any money. And he didn't care. He was like, okay. You know, this is where we are today. But you're going to complain because your business is down 20%. Go to the mayor, go to city council, go to Worcester County, and you talk to them. Because here's what's going on in Ocean City, Maryland, folks. People are coming there. They're spending one day there. They come early in the morning. They leave at night or in the late afternoon. They go home and they don't spend any money. They just walk the boardwalk. They might maybe get a French fry, or they might get a Coke, or they might get something, or a hot dog, okay, or a piece of pizza, all right? But they're not buying souvenirs because there's a lot of money on the boardwalk. I can go to Walmart here, or I can go to one of the stores right up the street here and get souvenirs for Ocean City and pay way less than what I pay on the boardwalk. Off street, you can get souvenirs for $5 if you go off street in Ocean City, Maryland. That's why I push for short-term rentals, because the hotels charge a ton of money, and now you're going to have to really take out a loan in order to book a hotel. So why don't all you business people who are complaining about the 20% drop in money go see the mayor and the city council and say, hey, wait a minute. We got these people that come once, they're here for the day. They don't come to my business because it's not on the boardwalk, but they go to the boardwalk businesses and all they do is walk up and down the boardwalk and don't spend. What are we doing about those people, Rick Meehan? What are we doing, city council in Ocean City, about those people? Nothing. Okay? What are we doing to draw people to come to Ocean City, Maryland and spend money? Nothing. You're having festivals. And, oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Here's the best one of them all. They're having festivals this year. They have the one in September, which is called Ocean's Calling. And then in October, they have the Country Calling. The one they had in May, the Rock and Roll Calling, or whatever it was called, that's canceled. They're not doing that till next year, till 27. Now, they're cutting back on Sunday. They're eliminating Sunday from the equation. So they're going to have a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they want you out of Ocean City. So what happens on Sundays now in Ocean City when those festivals are there and all those people are checking out and going home and leaving because they can't afford to stay there any extra days because the hotels charge too much money? Okay? And they're not going to Joe's Pizza or whatever. And Joe is on the news complaining. I'm just using Joe as an example. I don't know if there's a Joe's Pizza. Okay. All right. Tiger Stripes Media. Hello, Brian. How are you? Tune in to Tiger Stripes Media and the Sports Nuts. He's part of the Sports Nuts Network as well. All right. Make sure you tune in to him, Pensman Sports, RW Media Productions, and we're all part of the Sports Nuts. Okay. There he is, right there. He's also co-host on the show with me on Saturdays. We're now back to the Saturday sports show because of the ending of. We're going to talk Saturday about the national championship, but Mike Tomlin stepping down, NFL playoffs, coaches going this way and that way. We're going to be talking about that as well. in the NFL. The Saturday Sports Show, 10 a.m. every Saturday. Okay? So, here we go. Ocean City, Maryland's doing it again. We got the 20% complaining. We're cutting out Sundays. That cuts income out because everybody's going to go home. They're going to go home on Saturday. You want them out. You said, well, get them out of here. So now business on Sunday is going to be slow because you don't have anybody there when them festivals are going on. Unless you have a special festival event that is on Sunday. All right. So there you go. And now you have 2026 coming up. And you want to eliminate the Sunday part of the rock festival and the country festival. Well, that's fine. I mean, some people might not want to be there on Sunday, or they might want to use that day as an extra day if they can afford it. Okay. So all you 20%ers who complained that you lost 20% of your business, you need to go and see Rick Meehan, the mayor of Ocean City. You need to go see City Council. They have meetings Monday night. I'm thinking about going to one of them and giving them my piece. Because you know why? It's disgusting. And it's shameful. All right? Now, tourism was up, but business wasn't. And why? Because people come there for the day and they go home. I know people who live in Pittsburgh. They come down for the day and they go home because they can't afford their hotels. I told you the story about my podiatrist. And if you don't know what a podiatrist is, that's somebody who works on. Now, I'm diabetic, so I cannot cut my own toenails. I have to go to a podiatrist to have them do that. Okay? They take care of my feet. Take care of your feet if you need them to. Okay? That's what a podiatrist is. So, the podiatrist said to me, and this was a few years back, she says, Ralph, it's disgusting. I said, what's wrong? She said, my friends went to Ocean City. They spent the day down there, but and they live in Pittsburgh, and it's a 6-hour drive, grant you. With traffic, it could be 7, because once you get into that traffic jam to go across the 50 bridge, you're done. You're done. Okay? If you don't know how to use the 90 bridge, you're done too. All right? It's a cluster screw in the summertime. All right? I pick, you know how they say pick your battles? I pick and choose when I go down to the inlet or to the boardwalk or to the beach. Because I don't want to be there with 8 million people screaming and hollering. Parking rates are high and all that other stuff. So I pick and choose. That's what you have to do. It's called cherry picking. Okay? All right. So she said 2 of her friends, they went there. They spent the day. They were tired because they were walking around. You know, you can get tired. You eat some food. Tires you out. They wanted to stay at a hotel. The cheapest motel was over $300 a night. That's for one of the cheapy motels. One of the ones that have bikers in front of it, hookers walking in and out, you know, roach infested maybe, I don't know, you know. Okay. All right, Brian Pettit here, Tiger Stripes Media says when in the fall of Greenville, they do Thursday through Sunday, and it draws that people on Saturday and Sunday. Exactly. But see, Brian, what they're doing is they're eliminating the Sunday portion of these festivals because Monday morning they have to take the stage down and they don't want to be there on weekdays. They blame the festival promoters, the artist promoters. Maybe that is it. I don't know. I don't trust anything that's said from Ocean City because their government lies to people. All right. Just like most governments do, they lie to people. Okay. So getting back to my friends here, or my podiatrist friends, not mine, my podiatrist friends, they had to sleep in their car because they couldn't afford a hotel. That bothers me. Even the cheapy hotels were $300 a night. The cheapies. Okay? And I know rates go up everywhere in the summertime. I've been to Erie. I've been to Sugar Creek, Ohio, which I almost moved there. Okay? But I don't want to deal with the snow coming from Lake Erie. Okay? All right? I don't want to deal. I love Erie. Erie's beautiful in the summertime. Okay? So I've been there. Grove City, nice area. Grove City, Pennsylvania. They have a big, huge outlet mall, one of the biggest in the world. Okay? People come from all across the country and around the world to go there. It's huge. Okay? That's Ralph's opinion tonight on all that. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed the show. Just a few announcements here before we go. All right. Please don't forget to tune into all RW Media Production shows, Pensman Sports. Also, don't forget to tune into Tiger Stripes Media and the Sports Nuts as well. We have all kinds of shows. Check out our schedules. Go on our social media platforms. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to also follow us on Twitter X. For some strange reason, my followers go up and down like a roller coaster. Up and down, up and down. I had over 400. Now I'm down to 384. I don't know why, but it's that. Okay? I'm not going to go into that again. All right? But like and subscribe. Check out my YouTube channel. And also don't forget to check out my radio shows. Saturday, it's the triple header of Ralph Williams Saturday. All right? And let me see if I can find the video. Here we go. All right, the triple header of Ralph Williams Saturday. It starts Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Here it is. Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the Ralph Williams Show. We have a lot to talk about, as we always do. And then don't forget, at 10 a.m., the Saturday Sports Show with me, Ralph Williams, Pensman Sports, and Brian Pettit from Tiger Stripes Media. I have to make a new banner up for that. Okay? All right? We got a lot to talk about this Saturday at 10 a.m. Plenty to talk about. All right? So we're back to the Saturday Sports Show. Then at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3 p.m., the Sports Corner Radio Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. We're going to break down this stepping down of Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right? And a few other topics to talk about as well, but mainly what's been going on in the NFL. Also, don't forget every Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. before you watch this program. All right, and don't forget Tuesdays. All right, don't forget about Tuesday, 4 to 5 p.m. on the Sports Nuts Network and our other social media platforms. We're also on several radio stations across the country as well. Don't forget that. And then at 5 o'clock, if something special that we had 90 minutes special this Tuesday, we didn't have Wrestle Talk because of Mike Tomlin stepping down. All right, so I just want to let everyone know that. But Wrestle Talk.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, live on the Sports Nuts Network as well and other social media platforms. All right. I'm Ralph Williams. Thank you for watching Ralph's Opinion. We'll be back next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. right here. Yeah. And let me talk to you. And what do you want to talk about? Don't forget to email me, ralphwilliams737@gmail.com with all your thoughts and any topics you want me to talk about on the show. show related. It says we have to clean up and Sunday night, but most of the time we have it cleaned up at 12 or 1. All right, there you are. All right. We have the national championship coming up Monday night, and we're going to Brian Pettit and I and Pensman Sports, we're possibly going to be doing a pre show on Sunday. Also, we have the wild card or the playoff games coming up. We can talk about that as well. Some of the ones on Saturday, there's ones on Sunday. Okay, let's talk about in sports. UFL's coming up. We're going to be getting into the draft. UFL. I found out today that Todd Haley is the new head coach of the new Columbus team. Former Steeler offensive coordinator and Kansas City Chiefs head coach and former offensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals. All right. So he's going to be their new head coach for the UFL. And there's some other interesting names coaching in the UFL this year. So we're going to be having a UFL show. All right. We're doing a lot on our network, the Sports Nuts Network, Brian Pettit and Tiger Stripes Media. We do some live stream play-by-play, so I want to let everyone know that as well. Okay. Sad to see that the Steelers went down when they did. But until next Wednesday, everyone have yourself a great one. Please, by all means, be safe. Call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, have them here next week for Ralph's Opinion. Thank you. Be safe.